Hey, everybody, it's Miriam here at Paper Wheel Studio. How are you all doing on this wonderful Wednesday? I told you as promised I'd be back today to show you how to make something else out of a hardback book. If this is your first time watching my videos, I welcome you. And if not, then I hope you enjoy the content I prepared for you today. Please like, share, and subscribe to my videos. It'll help to grow my channel and help the algorithm. I think that's what YouTube uses. Not sure. So anyway, I have this hardback book. Book pages have been taken out of it. It's Lost Horizon by James Hilton. It's not necessarily that old of a book. I honestly don't know. I just happened to find this in my shelves. And I'm working on making, little storage things to keep items in and around my desk. So I wanted to show you how to put one of these together if you use the same kind of ink daubers that I do. I use these. I got one up here. I use these right here. And use these little sticky on spongy things that you can change with each color. When they get yucky and nasty, you can just simply take them off. They are attached to the wood part. This part is the rough part of Velcro, and this part on here is very smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a folio storage book to put all these little daubers in. I only have a couple that are rounded. Most of mine are flat. If all your daubers are rounded, you just want to make sure that the thickness of your book is not going to be any thicker than your daubers, and I've got plenty of room in my book here. It doesn't even come up halfway on the cover. It's just below halfway. So I'm going to put that back up here with my others. I also have with me some Velcro pieces that I've already cut in advance. I just took this is an adhesive Velcro that I have from an old project. I just simply cut it into squares. And then I also have some of these round Velcro dots that I picked up, I believe, at the Dollar Tree. The dots are probably a 1/2 inch or so, and so are my little squares. And then I also use this tiny little printer that I have. And though these might be a little hard for you to read on camera, I made little labels. Can you see that scattered straw? I've not used all my inks. I've only used a few of them. But I'm going to put the daubers in this book, so each time I want to use one, I can just grab the book, pull out the dauber that I want, put the one I'm using away, and start inking. So I just simply, this book is one that I've taken the insides out, and it just had a random spine here that's not wanting to stay down on the edge there. I might have to glue that down the way it is with some other glue that I don't have it right here. So I'm just going to press it down real good for now. I didn't have to reinforce the spine. It was a very steady book. So I simply put down a piece of washi tape, and then I cut a piece of vellum to fit. I laid it on the front cover of my book. I glued the edge down under the washi tape, and then put this wider washi tape over it to decorate the spine just a little, so I didn't have that ugly bare spine there. And then I noticed when I went this way, you could see down into the edge of the vellum, down in this little crack. So I simply took some white washi tape I had, and I put it down, and it looks good against that front cover. I'm not really into decorating things. It did have a name or something in it. I just whited it out. I'm not using anything in particular. The inside covers of this book are very plain, so I'm not going to cover them or anything. If you wanted to and you wanted to do real fancy, you could do that. It really is up to you. I am going more workable with this than fancy. So I have this piece of vellum taped down to the front cover. You'll probably say, oh, why'd you tape down that vellum? Well, because if you are using your ink pads and you've got them stuck inside the book, if you don't have that piece of vellum there, any ink you have on those is going to get on the front of your book straight from the ink pad when you close the book. So I put the piece of vellum down there to protect that front cover of the book. I may go back and put a plastic envelope in there if I have a few extras that might not fit. And I'm only going to use the amount of these I have. Unfortunately, I only have, yeah, this is great, 13. Anybody's lucky or unlucky number, 13? Well, that's what I've got. So I thought I would just simply start out with just laying these down across here to see what I have. Since I have more than 12, I obviously can't go 3 across and 4 down, so I've got to see if I can't squeeze maybe 4 across or 5 down. And then I have extra room for more Dobby's sponges when I go to, see, these are ones I've used. But for now, I'm just, you know, kind of laying them out here to see how they measure up. I've got 4 across. That will work because I can scoot this one over a little bit. Put those there. That will work. And I want to leave room for labels underneath. So I'm going to leave about a ½ inch between them. And then I'm going to put 4 across here. Go ahead and put that one on there. And then I'm going to go 4 more. And that'll get me to 12 daubers. And then I've got room to put this one more and extra places for more ink pads as time goes on. And now watch when I shut this, you'll see what I meant by the vellum. The vellum can just go right over on top. Those are going to be stuck down with Velcro. I'll show you how I'm going to do that here in a minute. I know I'm not the first person to do this. I saw it on a video by Margaret at 7 Plaza. I don't know if she recorded a video on her channel about how she made it, but she did show it on one of her videos. So I thought I would make one for myself since I do use the same type of the little ink sponges. So I'm going to start out here on the top, and I'm not going to do this in alphabetical order necessarily because I'm going to put it in the same order that I have in my where I have my ink pads. I've already labeled all of them with matching labels, so I know what is what. There's the pen from my S Pen from my cell phone. And then I have, like I said, these little labels here. So I'm just simply going to lay these out here. I'll put the labels down at the bottom. And I can do these a row at a time. I think I'll start with the round ones. And just kind of lay these, you know, approximately where they might be. Evenly space them across there to hold daubers. Well, these two have managed to stick together. Any kind of Velcro dots would work. Even if you had to sew on kind, you could glue them down without too much of a problem. These have glue on them. However, I am going to add my own glue with the glue gun to glue them down because I don't want to trust that these are going to stay down forever or as long as I have my book. So I'm just separating out my labels and putting them in one little pile on my book here. You want to make sure you got your book upright before you start putting your stickers on and everything. And I'm pretty sure I do. We'll just take a peek. Yep, I've got it upright. So I just simply get all these little things out of my cup and set it aside. And I don't want to end up dropping these on the floor, so let me put a few of them. Keep the 2 rounded ones out and 2 others for now. And I'm going to put these in this cup over here. Oops, I grabbed up the wrong one. Where are you? Here we go. There we go. So, just going to kind of scoot these blank ones up here, or unused ones I should say, not blank, and just put these up here. All right, so this is what I've got so far. I'm going to just take my glue gun. It only takes, this is a simple glue gun. I got it on Amazon, DOINOW, I believe, maybe the brand. It was obviously made somewhere overseas. So, cordless glue pen. They must have companies in UK and CA. I don't know if that's Canada. I don't believe they have anything in the United States. I got it off of Amazon. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that that's my favorite thing to use in videos, even more so than Fabrifix, because it just holds fairly well. Give it a few minutes. When I see it starting to look like it's going to drip off the front, then I know it's ready. It heats up very quickly. So I'm just going to lay it down here for a few minutes on my desk. And while it's heating up, I'm going to take this plastic off a couple of my dots here. And then I'll just put a little dot of glue and stick it down on the page here momentarily. So, just going to get these all ready here. And my glue gun should be set to go. There's only one downfall of this glue pen. If you don't use it, thank goodness it heats up quickly because it shuts itself off if you don't touch it every little bit. And if it does, you can simply turn it back on. And as long as you're using it, it doesn't shut itself off unless, of course, you run out of battery or something. You know, seems like I got the fumble fingers today, folks, so might take me a little longer than I thought. This should not be a lengthy project by any means. And once I get a few of these on here, I will probably do the rest of them off camera. There's no sense in you watching me label and glue. It really is a very simple thing. You all know how to glue and put labels in places. Some of these are very, very sticky. I may not need any glue with them. I think I may just skip on the glue. We'll go ahead and put these down. And then if one of them does come off, I can glue it back down later with my glue gun. Oh no, those are staying very well. Go ahead and put a little dauber on that one. And then see how you can just, when you want to use it, just pull it right off there. And I just stuck that down and it did not come up at all. So we're going to just stick that one on there. Put this one here. Okay, I don't want to run out of space here, so I better be careful. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing here. Move that. Now that one wanted to come up a bit, so we'll move that one just over a little. Even if you get your Velcro dots off a tiny little bit, you could still put your dauber on there fairly straight because you've got so much Velcro on the back and these dots are a lot smaller than the things that are sticking to them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And don't pay attention when I label these inks up here, because I'm really not exactly sure what inks I used with them, so I'm trying to match them up as carefully as I can. And once I get them all matched up, I won't be mixing them around any further. All right, so I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one here. And then I am going to come along here with my labels, and that one doesn't want to stick very well. I had it glued to something, but I don't know if that's going to even work when I use the dauber with it. So for now, I'm just going to stick it there. You know what? I think I'll stick it so it'll be down here on the inside. That way, if it does work itself off there, it won't be a big deal. And I'll put this one up here. All right, so now I have labels. I want to put gathered twigs and walnut stain up here on these rounded ones. So I'm just simply, these are little, I had a little printer that prints tiny things, and it's just a little 4x4 printer by Fomimo, and it works really great to print labels off. Again, I don't know where my sticky thing is to get these labels started here. Here we go. So once I get a couple of these down, I'll finish the rest offline and come back on and show you the finished product when I'm done. Not offline, off camera. I don't know what I'm saying. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. And then I'm putting, see how I put just a little label right below so that I know, I can't lift it quite up. I'm putting a label right below the dauber, then I know what every one of these daubers are for. All right, so let's see. Here's walnut stain. And you'll notice when I put down one of my stickers, it's a little bigger than the others because I forgot it when I printed. And somehow when I printed it the second time, it came out a little bit bigger. And these come out actually much smaller. I wish they all would have printed like the other one that I'm going to get here in a minute. But they did not. So I didn't want to waste them. So I'm going to head and use them anyway. If they fade or come up, I'll use something different in the future, but this will work just fine. This is the one that came out a little bit bigger. This would have been actually the perfect size lettering for all of these. I also labeled the end of the ink pads and have them stored so that I can simply pick them out. I've got the ones that I use more frequently in my cart, and others are on the desk that is beside me. Get this little baby to get these things started. If it'll work. It's not even gonna work for me. I can't get my hands on my little pokey tool at the moment, so here we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, folks, and work on this. Like I said, that one's a little lower than it should be. Let's put the dauber up just a little and rearrange this if I can, so it's not so low. And these are all, I want them to all be kind of in a row, if that makes sense. Even if the lettering is slightly different, I'd like them to all be in a row. Okay, then let's see. Can't remember what one that is, so I am going to get one of my, actually I believe that one is going to become, they're going to be vintage photo. So you go there. Let's see what else I've got. There, you're a Velcro. You're a Velcro. Turn all these up. Scorched timber, that would be okay for scorched timber, I believe. It's more of a brown black anyway. And that one is kind of a grayish, so I think it'll be just fine to use over time. And these daubers that I have that have some ink on them are not heavily saturated with the ink, so they should be okay when it comes to using them again, even though they might be slightly different color initially. It shouldn't make any difference in how it comes out on the paper because there's hardly any ink on them. They're not completely saturated. All right, I'm going to put down a round Velcro dot and see if I can stick down the one I'm using for vintage photo. I have been using, or my plan is to begin using either gathered twigs or walnut stain as my brown rather than vintage photo. Depending on what I'm working with, I like it to be just a little more on the darker side than the vintage photo gives you. It's more yellowed kind of, and I just would rather have it, you know, a little more on the darker side. You guys have any questions, please feel free to comment below. And I'm going to go ahead here and finish these, and I will be back with you here shortly. Okay, y'all, I want to come back and show you this. This is what I've got. I have my book cover. If I would choose, if I need more daubers and I would choose or sponges, I could do the same on the front cover. My spine is wide enough to hold them both. For now, I'm going to leave the front cover blank. And then I did this until I ran out of Velcro and daubers. I went a little wide here, so it kind of cut me a little short down here, but it still fits, and that's fine with me. I'm not going to worry about it. I just trying to make sure all my labels get pressed down here. So there you have it, folks. A good way. You can store it like this. You can store it upright, right on your desk. Put it right on your desk, and then you have it with you always. And see, there's still plenty of room in that spine with the daubers in there. And you just open it up, and they stay Velcroed right to the book, as if that's where they belong, and now that is where they belong. So you all have a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I gave you another wonderful, amazing idea on how you could use up these hardback book covers. I think Friday, I will give you a little heads up. I'm going to be working on a writing type journal. So if you want to come back and join me for the next video, I welcome you, and I would be so happy to have you in my studio with me as I work on my writing journal on Friday. Thanks for watching, and you all have a wonderful day. Hey, by the way, we need to get me up to 100 subscribers, and as soon as I do, we've got a drawing coming up. I will talk to you all later. See you next time. Bye, everybody, all my crafting companions out there. Have a good one.